Yeah, it's really exciting for all of us. I think it's something fresh, it's something new. Been playing a lot of Test cricket, but this is the first of its kind. Yeah, and we haven't had, as you rightly say, we haven't had Test cricket. I think since March or February in the beginning of the year, so it has been a gap of Test cricket. And we are coming to India. We know it's obviously playing India in any conditions is tough, but playing them at home is really tough. So it's a nice challenge for a young group. But I'm more excited about the challenge of the Test Championship over 2 years being played. We'll see how that unfolds. Right now, we don't know if it's a good or a bad system. I think it's just something that you have to go through and experience yourself. But it is something that we look forward to.
Against the dominant India.
Yeah, I think what Test cricket in general does to you, that if there is a flaw in your game or something that you're not quite on top of against opposition, generally Test cricket does bring that, exposes that in your game. And obviously last time when we came here as a batting unit, and personally myself finding it very difficult in tough conditions, was the fact that I needed to get better from a defensive and a technical point of view to adapt to play in tough conditions as it was tough for everyone. But there was huge value in that tour for me. I think since that tour, after that I really started playing spin better. My record now since then has been a lot better when the ball was spinning, white ball or red ball. So I think all players have to go through tough times to make them better, to make them understand where is potential weaknesses in their game, and then either you can disappear or you can come back stronger as a player. So yeah, as tough as it was, really taught me a lot about myself, about playing spin. Yeah, it's been really refreshing having some local knowledge in our dressing room. As you say, it's just a different mindset, it's a different language. It's different chats that you're not used to, and that's really refreshing no matter how many games you've played. So I've enjoyed his time with us. It's been very short, but already some really good conversations. Yeah, it's as tough as last time when we were here. I think the wickets then probably spun a little bit more than they would this series. It was really dry back then. The ball spun a lot. As a batting unit, we find it tough, even though we had lots of experience in our team. And now we've got a completely different unit. It's a very, very young-looking batting lineup, so there's not a lot of baggage that comes with the guys that are on tour. And they also, as most young cricketers are very motivated and very driven to do well in international cricket. And this tour would be no different for them. Yeah, that's definitely one of the options. Bar the last time we were here, there was always, India's always been a place where the first innings you can score runs, and then the second innings it can get challenging. And when it does go first innings big runs, you need bowling resources to bowl. You need more than 3 or 4 bowlers to do that. So we are definitely looking at a combination of having 5 bowling options in our team to try and maximise getting 20 wickets. Conditions will change through the tour, and we'll try and assess what do we think is the best bowling unit that can get you 20 wickets. Generally in Test cricket, that's what wins you Test matches, and that's why India has been so successful at home. Obviously their spinners play a huge role in getting those 20 wickets, and when they go abroad, they've definitely strengthened their seam attack options, which help them to get those wickets.
As a Test captain, 6 months.
Yeah, no, it's a challenge, but I've always been the type of person and character that really enjoys the challenge. I think that generally brings the best out of me as a personality and as a character. So that's one thing you have to look forward to. You can't look at the teams that you're playing and see it's, oh dear, it's you're playing against some really strong opposition. You've got to face on head on. It's a real good time for me to be involved with the young team. There's a lot of senior players that's out of our system. Our leadership group has changed completely. You've lost all your experience in those players, but what that does is it's a new time for growing new leaders in our team. The next best fast bowlers that's going to come through, they're going to be the next best Hashim Amla, who they're going to be. So it's exciting for me to be working with the young guys at the moment.
Last two questions.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you've got some very good fast bowlers in there.
Yeah, I think in the past, certainly fast bowling teams came in, they still played a role with the reverse swinging ball and having some extra pace. But certainly the last tour that we felt that obviously the ball spun quite a bit. And I think the bowler we have in Maharaj at the moment is probably just as good as any spinner around the world. So he'd be just as much a challenge for the Indian batters if the decks were to spin quite a bit. And then yes, we do have pace, but it's about making sure that you can have accurate pace. You know, there's no, in the subcontinent, just pace itself doesn't count for much. You need to be accurate for a long time, and you also need to make sure that the ball does something through the air.
Reverse swing and the controls.
Yeah, I think once again, depending on what the conditions looks like, you know, in order for the ball to reverse swing, you need a dry surface. You know, you need dry pitches, you need dry squares for the ball to get scuffed up on those dry surfaces. Obviously, there's a lot of rain that's been falling and probably going to happen a little bit through the next few weeks or so. So all depending on that. But if it is dry, yeah, reverse swing will play a role, and that's obviously something that we can use to our advantage because we have got a few guys that can bowl, you know, 140, 145 plus, and that's when reverse swing becomes a real weapon.